चक्षु श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, mind, all the sensory and motor organs become strong and efficient. All is verily the Absolute One, blissful, conscious reality. Let me never deny this truth of one divine conscious existence. May this truth never reject me either. May all the virtues necessary to realize this truth in life, which are spoken of by the scriptures, be with me. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us feel each of us is like a statue of salt. And we are dissolved in the infinite, luminous ocean. I can see my consciousness, my self-awareness has become free from the limitations of body and mind. I am the whole, infinite, all-pervading ocean of luminous bliss. There is no time or space. There is no other. I am this infinite, perfect existence. I have no desires. For I am all that is. I am peace itself. Now let us feel this infinite, one without second, luminous bliss is condensing without losing anything. It has assumed the size of a luminous point in my heart. Om. Peace, peace, peace. So, friends, let us begin today's discussion on this wonderful Upanishad with our usual prayers. Today is the 25th class of this, and we are in the third chapter. Om सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we attain strength together. May our study may make us illumined. May there be no dislike between us. Om, peace, peace, peace. This third chapter, as we discussed earlier, they uses various practical methods to intensify our connection with the truth. It is not just abstract understanding or just mental emotions or thinking. It is a practical experience that we need to have, and therefore we have to see how we can imbibe this truth. And the method is that understanding and loving. Love or devotion is a great tool, and somehow or other it was thought that devotion and knowledge, they run counter to each other. It is not true at all, as Sri Ramakrishna has so many times told and practically demonstrated also that that which is devotion is also knowledge, that which is knowledge is also devotion. Sometimes Upanishads are thought to be knowledge because that is how the language is. The language puts us in this idea that Upanishad means all knowledge and there is no bhakti or devotion. And also it is somehow or other understood that the teachings of non-dual Brahman, the non-dual divine all-pervading principle is not bhakti, it is all only knowledge. But that again is not true. That devotion and non-duality, they are not against each other. In fact, devotion culminates in the devotee getting absorbed and losing one's little ego in the divine, thus attaining the same one reality. It is this idea is expressed in this Upanishad very strongly. Therefore, sometimes this Upanishad is called Upanishad of Devotion because of the emphasis that it has on the devotional practice. And here you can see that this imagery used in many devotional meditations that are there. It is Angushthamatrah Purushontaraatma Sada Jananam Hridaye Sannivishtah Hृदा मनीषा मनसा भिक्लुप्तो ये एतद् विदुः amritaste bhavanti. That assuming a form of the size of a thumb by virtue of intellect, emotion, imagination and will, the infinite being dwells in the hearts of creatures as their inner self. Those who realize this become immortal. they in this the translation can be seen like this also, that we can feel this by using our intellect, emotion, imagination. Hrida, Manisha, Manasa, these three words indicate that Hrida, that using our intellect, that it is our thinking faculty. As it is said that our education and training has to be on these three lines: head, heart, and hands. All three have to be trained properly to do the whatever we understand. We have to feel it, love it, and then it is the hands also will act accordingly. It is the three, they combine together to make one's life. That mere understanding is not enough. The understanding has to have this loving component to it. If we understand that something is very close to me, something that is my reality, something that sustains me, something that provides everything for me, then will we not love that? There will be automatically the love that will be generated there, something that is immensely close to me, something with which I have the most tangible connection than anything in the world. So, this is that Rida. Then Manisha, that it is by having our emotions directed to that Rida, understand, then let the emotions flow in that, and then, and the will, Manasa Abhiklupto. Abhikrupto means that these are the ways by which all these are to be directed towards the goal. This is the harmony of yogas, as it is said, that the yoga of knowledge, yoga of devotion, and the yoga of action. Jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, all are to be applied, and one must meditate with that understanding that you can call Raja Yoga, although that idea formally has not been used by Upanishads. The word Raja Yoga you hardly find anywhere in Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita. So, but this is, in essence, it is Raja Yoga, that you meditate on that, and then a very beautiful and immensely useful imagery has been provided here, that Angushtamatra Purushontaraatma Sada Jananam Hridaye Sannivishtaha, that assuming a form of the size of a thumb, because it has to be contained in the heart, isn't it? So it has to be small. The self is infinite, but for the purpose of meditation, where to meditate? Meditate in the heart. Heart here means the seat of your I consciousness. That is why this place is shown heart. This is something that is spontaneous and automatic with us. That when we want to indicate I put my hand here. That I am a good person. You may dispute that, but it is that I put hand here. I am. So it is like that, it is being the seat of the I consciousness. That is where we have to uh, put now the divine. Instead of this I, we have to establish God there. It is, this I is to be kicked out, as Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Shala Ami. This rascal ego, this rascal I, is causing all sorts of problems. So, when it is removed, there is no problem. This I has to be therefore substituted by God. That is why it is told that in meditation in the heart, think of that divine as of the thumb size, so that it has to fit in the heart, that is the idea. So, uh, as a luminous truth, a reality, that you will see this idea expressed in many, many Upanishads and other scriptures, that think of the divine as light in the heart. Light is something that is very uh, automatically attractive to human beings and even other creatures. Uh, Not all, there are many nocturnals, but it is for human beings, wherever there is light, we go. If it is all dark, we do not have a very nice feeling that, oh, I don't like to go out in night, it is too dark. But when it is light, then we feel comfortable about it. It is, we see that in our language also, the word light is associated with the goodness, the pious and holy things. It is light. Knowledge is considered light. It is Lord in Bhagavad Gita mentions that I am the light, that Jyotisham apitat jyoti tamasa paramuchyate, that I am that light that is illuminating all other lights. It is beyond all darkness. So, this is, you will see in the Bible also, I am the light of the world. Everywhere you will see that even the manifestation of universe has been described in the Genesis as God said, let there be light, and there was light. So that is as it were the first manifestation, light. When we want to say that, well, I want to know how it works, we say, throw some light on it. It is, the light is therefore very closely identified with knowledge. It has a psychological effect too. We see in the winters in the northern parts, what happens is the darkness is very long, and the sunlight is very reduced, maybe 5 hours sun and remaining 19 hours night. So I am not talking about Alaska, I am talking about even these northern parts in US or other places, that it is 5-6 hours of day. Here also at about 4 o'clock it becomes dark, and so no sun. If it is cloudy, it becomes still worse. So it is therefore people's minds get depressed. This is a commonly known psychological problem here. When I first came here, I was therefore told that whether it is dark night, you deliberately go out for a walk. Otherwise, you will feel kind of, depressed, and so go out. Do not sit in the home, oh, it's dark. No, go out, walk a bit, and then come back. Say, this helps, because then you see some lights, some people around, and all that. It has an impact on mind. What I am trying to tell it is the importance of light. So that in heart feel that light, that divine, and think of that as infinite condensed. As we were meditating before we began the class, think of it as infinite, your true nature. That is what you are concentrating on. And this is just a tool for concentration. It is that this tool for concentration, that feel the heart, and then within the heart feel that divine in whatever form, whatever maybe what is called your chosen ideal, in that form feel that all the light of the world, all the existence, all the bliss is condensed. Condensing, means you don't lose anything in condensing, only put in a smaller space. Like earlier, we used to have the recordings on big, those discs. That also was an advancement than something that is 2 centuries back. There was no recording method. With Thomas Alva Edison, a voice recording began. But then, in uh, one big disk, one disk you can store about 2 3 minutes of voice, that's all. A song, therefore, those days the songs had to have the limit, 3 minute song, because that will only fit in the disc. The recording cannot be bigger than that. So, and people to even to store, say, 500 songs means needed a big room to store all those. You will see still in the old this thing, people have such collections where they have those old those records, those discs on which these things are stored. So then it has the condensing digital tools became available, and now you can keep in a small this pen drive say songs that will be playing for 10,000 hours, you say. Mm. For 10,000 hours. Did you lose anything? No, it was condensed. All that otherwise some 100 years ago would have filled a huge that warehouse, you say. It is stay now, that is you have in one little small thing. The books that earlier I used to carry books, with me for to go to some place to give lectures. Now all books I have got in this little tablet, So all condensed, So this is the condensation, that reducing in size. So reduce the whole reality, all the divine existence, all the bliss, all the luminosity in this little thumb size form in the heart, and concentrate on that. It's the awareness about it should be, it is infinite, it is all pervading. Actually, it is all pervading. Like when you are carrying that small little pen drive with this 10,000 hours of music in it, then although its size is only this much, your awareness about it is, oh, it is huge. It is all that I need. It is all these songs are there. So it is like that, although you meditate on it in the heart as a thumb size, it is yet it encompasses the whole universe when you just expand it. So the awareness must be that. It is, we use this technique in any place. Like if you have say olden days, they used to have the coins. That in India the rupee coins, here there must be, I am sure, the dollars, not in the paper notes but in coins. And so people used to carry big sacks, and at $1,000 to be carried in coins. Imagine, So a hefty fellow has to carry big sacks and then take it. It is so now that is condensed, say, into $100 bills. So you can pack it in a small place, or you can just have a check. One check, it has $1,000 that values that. Or you can have a credit card that may have, a credit limit of $50,000. So you have 50,000 with you available to spend. So it is all the this thing of technique of condensing, making the big things look small and fit in a small space. So this infinite true nature of ours is to be fitted without losing anything in heart. Fit it in the heart, and thus now you have it right here. This is how we have to make a good use of human psychology. That when you feel it is right here, then you feel it is accessible. It is very close to me. God in heaven, oh my goodness. So I am not able to get it. It is very simple. If the distance, heaven, how can I go there? There is no possibility of going there. So it is, not far away, God far away. In the Hindu spiritual thought, God is not considered far away. God is everywhere, but where to see that God? Within your heart. As Sri Ramakrishna said that, the heart is the parlor of Lord, where Lord sits and meets the devotees. That it is where Lord receives the devotees, that is the heart. So God is everywhere, but where can you find it? He used to give analogy, the milk maybe all over in a cow's body, but to get it you have to touch the udder of the cow. From the udder you get the milk. It is, if you touch the horn, you will not get the milk, you see. So it is similarly a heart, that where to meet God? Heart. So Sri Ramakrishna said that because of the screen of Maya, illusion, that shuts off God from human view, one cannot see Him playing in one's heart. After installing the deity on the lotus of your heart, you must keep the lamp of remembering God ever burning. While engaged in the affairs of the world, you should constantly turn your gaze towards inwards and see whether the lamp is burning or not. Very beautiful, very useful idea. Keep on feeling that presence of God in the heart all the time. It is not just about sitting at a place and meditating. That must be done. But even apart from that, after doing that, while doing all other activities, we have to keep on feeling this presence of God in the heart, and uh, now and then see whether the light inside is burning or not. Like in our long meditation, as Charles used to get up and see whether the oil is there and the lamp is burning or not. Yes, so it is inside we have to see if that lamp, that God is being there or not, is that visible or not. This is a matter of using the technique. That it is we in practice the philosophy becomes psychology. It is in our practical life, as Swami Vivekananda mentions in one of his letters, that from these abstruse principles you have to make a practical psychology. That is the work, that practical psychology. Feel this. It is that how we can keep on directing to that, and it will gradually bring a shift in our consciousness. It happens, friends, that shift in consciousness does come, that as we progress in this, uh, apply, keep on doing it. Gradually you will see a shift. It will take long time, but time after all, what is it? It is time is a measure of change. So a measure of change that is normally done by referring to sun. When the earth makes one round around sun, then we say hey, 1 year. So it is our measure is dependent on the earth's motion. It has to now be become, the time has to be counted on how much our mind has changed, and not how many rounds earth has made around the sun, but how much the mind has changed from running after these worldly pleasures outside. It has now to be turned inwards. That motion has to be changed. That we make a change, make a shift. When you are driving somewhere and you see you made a wrong turn. The other day I realized, I made a wrong turn. And then what do? You go to the right turn again. You turn the car and then come on the right track. So we have been going in the wrong direction, bringing what? How do we know it is wrong direction? Simple, it doesn't take much learning. It is not like a rocket science. It is simple that we want happiness. Where are we going? We see suffering. Mm. We want more peace. In life, we are going to more worries, more anxieties, more disturbance. It is so the direction is wrong. That is how we understand that the direction is wrong. You began towards going towards New York and saw that New York is 170 miles. After driving for 1 hour, you see New York is 250 miles. Then what do you conclude, Naomi? The direction is right? No, the direction is wrong. So we started living to get more and more happiness, more and more peace, more and more knowledge. And then after living for so many years, what do we see? How much have we progressed in the desired direction? If we haven't, then the direction has to be changed. It has to become inward. It is going in the wrong direction outwards. It is that is the natural tendency to see out. But then we see that it is wrong direction. Now we have to bring it uh, within, and therefore this is the technique that feel that, keep on feeling that more and more and more, and depending on how pure our mind has been and how much efforts we are putting in, that we will see a shift. The life is shifting. And let us not worry if one, I remember one gentleman telling, Swami, it is not working at all. I have been trying for now 2-3 years have elapsed and nothing has happened. Why it is now? It is, I feel I am just wasting my time. uh, so I said, okay, do you think then not doing it is going to bring the things, bring your goal closer to you? And he would say, well, that is, you have a point there. So it is, keep on doing it, try to do it more intensely, and we can see the result. It is, it may be slow to begin with, but do not worry, the direction is more important. Fast or slow, well, matters very little. It is, the time is infinite time, but the direction is important. Let us go in that right direction. Angushtamatra Purushontaraatma. This idea comes in many, many Upanishads, that it is, these words, very similar words, appear in Kathopanishad as well. It is a little different in the second line, that it is Angushtamatra Purushontaraatma Sada Jananam Hridaye Sannivishtaha. And then that next line there is that it is to be tam swat sharirat pravrihet munjadivaishikam dhairyena tat shukram amritam, that it is from there, it is from the heart now. uh, it has to be taken out of the sheath of this body. And that self is all pervading, but it is just enclosed in this body. That's all. So its glory is not manifested, and so therefore it is of no use really. If it is all those songs I was giving the example in that little chip, all those 10,000 hours of music is there. But if I do not put it to an instrument, an appliance that can bring it out and play, what is the use? It's no use. So that is in our heart. What of that if we are not manifesting? And what is the manifestation? Take it out of this covering of body. That tam swat sharirat, by from your body. Take it out, and there you have to be very alert. It is, I am not going into that. That itself is a very beautiful verse that would take this. But the idea is very similar. Take it out clearly, that it will get separated from this body awareness. I am this body. It is a wrong awareness. It is completely erroneous, mistaken awareness that I am body. Now, uh, take out that. But let us not make the mistake of throwing the baby with the bathtub water, It is, the water was to be thrown from the bathtub, but there was a little baby in the bathtub too. And the fellow, without looking at the baby, hey, hurled all the water out. So, therefore, we have to be very careful that that awareness of God is not thrown out. I am body, that in that I is to be retained, that's the baby, that is to be retained. Am body, that is to be thrown out, that I am body, that am body part, that is to be changed. Am divine, am all pervading, am bliss itself. So this is taking it slowly, very carefully. So the example is given is beautiful example that in the grass, if you see grass, it is a stem, a very tiny stem of the grass. And now inside that stem, again there is a still finer that stem. So from the outer stem, you have, if you try to take out that inner stem, you have to be very cautious. If you are a little tardy, then you will break it, you say. Without breaking, if you have to take it out, you have to be very, very cautious, very careful. So, similarly, this divine is to be brought out in our life. So, this is the whole idea in meditation, that feel it within and let it manifest. So, now the manifestation is shown how it is that that you were feeling within yourself. This is this and the next verse, very famous verses from Purusha Suktam, first and second verse of the Purusha Suktam. That it is who am I? That understanding as it manifests, it will be tremendously changed. It is very counterintuitive, friends. This verse is a tremendous verse from Purusha Suktam. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishvato Vritva Atyatishthad Dashangulam. That infinite being has 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, and 1,000 feet, enveloping the whole universe on all sides. He exists beyond the 10 fingers above this Atyatishtat. The translation is difficult, it is difficult to translate in just a few words. The translator has done a good job, but that is, it does not really bring out the essential meaning of this whole verse, because it needs more elaboration. That the self, same self, has all these heads. Like I think I have this head, and that Paul has that other head there. I think by this head. Paul thinks by that head. But actually all heads belong to that one being. That one being is thinking through all heads. The I is same. It is so counterintuitive. Our that ignorance, congealed ignorance that we have, that congealed and concretized ignorance make us see that I is different in different bodies. No, friends, realization of these sages is completely different. That the I is same. We understand it in some other things, like we have water in, say, bottles, millions of water bottles. Then the water is in the rivers, in the ponds, in the clouds, in the drops, in the dew. Everywhere you have that water. The receptacles are different, small or big. A drop is small, and ocean is big, and different receptacles. But the water is not big or small. Water is the same substance in all these receptacles. Are you getting it, Tommy? Yeah, excellent. That is same in all. This is the awareness of knowledge, the awareness of ignorance. I am here, I am good. That is other, that is bad. It is other is bad naturally. It is the other. It is it. Then when we want to consolidate that, say we, that I become then we. We are good, they are bad. You see, so it is something that is not correct. It is the same I everywhere. Thinks through all the heads, sees through all the eyes, walks on all legs. Same one I. Not easy to appreciate, but this is spirituality. Separating water from the bottle. And then you see that the water in this bottle and that bottle was same. That is the separating. That you see the same self in all. That, and then you see that self is all. It is very easy to understand if we just apply our intelligence. It doesn't require big intelligence. You don't need to be an Einstein, I mean. It is anybody with below average intelligence also can understand this. That do you think that you have two eyes? Uh, Somebody sees from the left eye and some other sees by the right eye. The same person sees through both the eyes. Similarly, the same one being is using all eyes to see, not only human eyes, the eyes of hawk also. It is all, is the same one being using all eyes, all legs, all heads. So means everything, and thus envelops the whole universe. There is nothing apart from it then, if you look at it, because that being is in every particle. There is no distinction at all, that A is different from B because I see the space between them. But if the space is also filled with the same being, and then there is no separation at all. It is that is the next line, that he exists. The whole universe on all sides is enveloped by this one being. You are everywhere. You are all that it is. Upanishads are replete with verses pertaining to that. That Atma Ivedam Sarvam, Atma, the self, is all this is. Idam Sarvam, this is all self. But the manifestation is after all only a part of it. It is beyond the manifestation. That is what is indicated by don't think that whatever manifestation you are seeing, you are perceiving, that is all that the self is. No, self is pervading the manifestation. But that manifestation does not completely account for the glory of the self. That is therefore more than that. It is, that is the Atyatishthad Dashangulam. It is more, then it is above that, transcends that. That is the idea. So, the next verse is also this, the second verse from Purusha Suktam. Purusha vedagam sarvam yad bhutam yaccha bhavyam utamritatvaseshanah yadannena tirohati. So this is the idea that it is that which is, that which was, and that which is yet to be, the past, present, future, all that is that one being, that one self. There is no other past, present, future, because time becomes unreal. Time, perception of time is something that is dependent on perception of this erroneous multiplicity. We see the multiplicity, and then that multiplicity not being real, what happens? It changes. It being unreal, it is every, it keeps on changing, and that gives us the sense of time. No change, no time. So when you have no multiplicity, the perception of one, the time and all that past, present, future, all is gone. All is self. A very revolutionary thought, but why it is given here is that when we are meditating on that divine within, we have to feel that actually is all this. That it is, all this is nothing but this infinite being. Through, though he grows beyond his own nature into the form of the objective universe, he still maintains, he still remains the Lord of immortality. A little mystic language, but uh, again the idea is that although it pervades everything, that does not confine him at all, is beyond that. It is, uh, though he grows beyond his own atyata, that it is yad bhutang yaccha bhavyam utamritastvasyešanah yadannena tirohati. That yad annena means whatever you see growing, changing, that is called annam. It is, annam means food. Things eat each other. That is, we think we eat food, but the food eats us. That is simultaneously happening. It is difficult to feel, but very interesting idea. I think that I am eating my meals. No, the meals is also eating you simultaneously. So it is all that is food, and so it is. But that does not change. That Lord does not change while playing through all these changes. So this is we'll stop here. We shall continue the discussion on this on next Friday. We will meditate for a few seconds, and then if you have question, you may ask. Yes, please. Yes, Charlie.
I think it was Swami Vivekananda who said, if we all turn the other cheek, society would collapse. So what's the practicality of knowing that we're all one?
Ah, well, there is a context to those statements, you know. It is what Swami Vivekananda was mentioning. He also mentions that it is at the state of Jesus. That is true. It is. There is no nobody to hate, nobody to. It doesn't belong. The cheek does not belong to me. That this cheek and that cheek is same. So that is the aware at that awareness. This is very good. But unless your awareness is raised through this meditative practice to that level, then it doesn't matter whether society is or not. You survive, the truth survives, whether society survives or not doesn't matter at all.
Maybe there are conflicts between different groups of people and different people.
Yeah, there are different people, you are right. So that doesn't mean that this is the truth is any less truth. Every person will have to realize it today or tomorrow. There is somebody will realize early, somebody will realize later. But there is no other way. You have to keep on working. This is a spiritual evolution. That is why these ideas cannot be understood by everybody, because that evolution hasn't gone to that stage. It is when it goes to that stage, then you understand. So it is you cannot call, hey dogs, come here, I will give you a lecture on Upanishads, you know. They are at a different level, you see. So all human beings also are not psychophysically, intellectually on the same level. It is as Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that the propensities are different. That bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. After uh, getting whirled around for many births, gradually a person learns, you see, and comes to me.
What can we do when there's a conflict going on? Intellectually we know that we're all one.
Yes, try to feel that one. To feel that one, feel that God in the other person as well, with whom you have a conflict, and then resolve the conflict. It is you have to do according to how what you perceive, but know that that perception is subject to change, and make the change an evolutionary change. That yes, with that experience you move forward. Mm, yeah. Yes, Paul, you were asking something? Well, not exactly. It is a figurative statement. that it is transcendent over this. So it is described as if above. It is, yeah, Atyatishthad Dashangulam. So, and it is transcendent over this world. Although the world uh, has nothing but Lord, but to show that the Lord is not confined by this world, it is shown that it is still above that. So that is the meaning of this 10 fingers above. Yes, Tommy?
Would an analogy of knowledge coinciding with devotion be when you're studying, not focusing on how much you're getting out of it or when it will end, but focusing on how much you're studying in the moment to learn more?
Well, yes, of course, it is not exactly called devotion, but your that effort should be to be in whatever you are doing. Mm. It is called that it is more like what is called yoga of action, karma yoga, and that do what you are doing with full attention, and then the result will be of itself, it will come. If you keep on thinking about the result, then you have lost the moment. uh, you are now in physically you are in one spot, mentally in another spot. So that is why that should not be done. It is this practice is okay. Handle the means, the end will come of itself. That is what Swami Vivekananda mentions in the very first line of that great lecture, the work and its secret. Work and its secret. That lecture was given in Pasadena, California, here. And he begins that lecture with that statement that the one lesson that I learned, very important lesson, is that to pay as much attention to the means as to the end. Mm. So, if you, it is because of ignorance, it we keep on jumping. We think the end is important, the means are not important. But without the means, there is no end. So, therefore, handle the means. If you handle the means, that's a wonderful lecture. It is in itself worth studying. Please study that lecture.
Like in Kama Yoga, it said not work for the reward.
Yeah, don't work for the reward. Exactly, work. The reward will be there. When you handle the means right, the reward will be there.
He also said in that book that someone can own a whole library of books, but Kama will determine how much you will read or learn from.
Correct, correct. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, let us conclude with the closing prayer. Let me remind you on this tomorrow there is the day long meditation from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. There will be a recorded guided meditation, and then from 12 o'clock onwards, there up to 8 o'clock, there is the day long silent meditation. There is one should not be talking at all, and the food etc. will be available. There it is. So it needs to be, the just you can meditate as long as you like, but once you then go out of the premises, then you will not be able to come in, because the doors will close by 12 o'clock. Till 6:30 it will remain closed. So, and then on Sunday there is a very special lecture by Reverend Linda Forsberg of the First Lutheran Church. She is a wonderful speaker and very much into interfaith. She is also a professor, adjunct professor at the Salve Regina University, and is connected with so many different religious organizations. So it is a great opportunity for us to listen from her these universal values in Christianity. So please make it a point to come for that talk. Let us conclude with the closing prayers. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishnaarpanamastu.